think that tennis is about expressing yourself, doing your thing. But you don't know what tennis is.
What is it? Tashi Duncan, she's in another league.
You were incredible today.
To have a fashion line, a foundation, she's gonna turn a whole family into millionaires.
What are you gonna do now?
Unfortunately, my only skill in life is hitting a ball with a racket.
I want you to be my coach.
I want you to be my coach.
How often does this happen? Going after the same girl? Come here.
Which one of us? This is a game about winning the points that matter.
I don't need to play mind games with you. Come have a cigarette with me, I have to talk to you.
I don't smoke, and I'm not talking to you.
He's not in love with you.
What makes you think I want someone to be in love with me?
Hey, I love you.
I know.
You wish you never ever met her at all.
Boom, there you go. That was the trailer for Challengers in theaters right now. It's your boy Kuya. This is Nerds Rule the World, and joining me to talk all things Challengers is my man from Film Threat, from the movie review, and one other, and just many more. I can't think of all.
Screen comment.
Screen comment.
Yeah.
My pal Anthony Francis. How are you, sir?
I'm great. It's glad to be back.
Appreciate you, man. Thank you for coming and joining me to talk all things Challengers. Everybody, real quick, you know how I try to do, but then I get tongue twisted sometimes. I get a little too excited. Let's talk really quick about the story and the characters, the cast of Challengers. First off, we're going to speak a little bit on the cast. Maybe this poster. This lists all the names right here. We have, of course, Zendaya. Zendaya, everybody knows our Mary Jane. She also, was a Disney kid, which is kind of also weird leading up into this film. Seeing her grow up and now seeing the version of Zendaya that we get in this film is really awkward and very weird. But she is tremendous in this, I have to say. She's also one of the producers on this as well. We also have Josh O'Connor and Mike Faist, two actors who I'm not very familiar with, but I think they did a great job in this. I can definitely see them in these roles that they portrayed. Really quick story. Josh and Mike's characters are a pair of tennis players. They do doubles. I'm not a tennis player, y'all. So they are a team, if you will, starting off playing in a tournament. They then stumble across Zendaya's character, who is this up and coming tennis player. She's got a lot of sponsorships and I'm forgetting my words, but she's got a lot of campaigns, people that are helping her out to boost her career, and they both fall in love with this gal. Who wouldn't? Because they see just how great of a professional is, and just also how not bad on the ice she is. It then leads into a weird night one day, and which is also so very awkward if you've seen Zendaya growing up as a fan of films and acting and cinema, which is in the trailer, so I'm not spoiling anything there, which then kind of breaks up the two friends. They kind of compete, they challenge, hence Challengers, for her love. One wins out, and then later on, as the film progresses,
But does he?
They re-enter into the picture with each other, and it then goes into some weird things from there. Real briefly on the story, I know I'm all over the place on it, guys, but I don't want to spoil for you all. I want you to watch it and enjoy it for yourself. But I will say the beat of this film is actually like a tennis match. I'm not much of a tennis player, but it really has a weird back and forth. There's slow moments that you have in tennis, and then there's really when you're attacking your opponent, and the action starts to ramp up. that you can really feel with this film. So shout out to Luca Guadagnino, if I'm pronouncing his name right. My Italian is Guadagnino. Thank you, Anthony. I think he does a phenomenal job. His camera work in this, again, y'all know I'm a filmmaker, is really interesting. There's a lot of great choices that he makes to present his story. The one awkward thing about this film is the soundtrack. Although I love him, is my man from Nine Inch Nails, Trent Reznor. He does a lot of the music in this. There's a specific track he plays throughout, which is very interesting and also can drown out some of the words that are being spoken. Very interesting character choice. Well, choice, not character choice. But it's a very interesting film and one that I had some thoughts on, but I'll bring that more in my review. But very interesting story, I will say. It was a very interesting story. I think its title really portrays what this film is about, because I was a little curious at first, the title Challengers, and then the story behind it. But there you go. That's the story. That's the cast, and a little bit on the crew. Shout out to Luca Guadagnino. Let me throw it over to my man, Anthony Francis. Talk to me about the story and your thoughts on the cast, and a little bit maybe on the crew or anything you have there.
First of all, I'm not Italian. I'm just a poser.
I'm curious. Like, is Anthony Italian?
No, I actually heard him
Okay.
in an interview, and the interviewer said Guadagnino, and he says Guadagnino. I said, I'm taking it. I'm taking it forever.
You can have it.
I am 50-50 on this film. I loved the first hour, which is mostly when they were in college and what you spoke about. They were up and coming and Zendaya, and then boom. I didn't mind the metaphors. They started building the tennis relationship metaphors right away. Somewhere around the last 35, 45 minutes, I felt the weight of the metaphors. It was like every scene and every shot. Yes, I get it. I got it. I got it back an hour ago. Please stop hammering them over my head. Very quickly, speaking of hammering over your head, you spoke on it. Look, I love Trent Reznor as well.
Love Nine Inch Nails back in the day.
Oh, I love them back in this day. They're one of my favorite groups. Atticus Ross is who he did the score with. Oh my God, just stop with that score. I couldn't believe it was Trent Reznor. I couldn't believe the way it was used. And there's one of the best scenes actually of the two former friends now in adulthood in a sauna, the scene I mean.
Yeah.
And they're speaking about everything the film's about, and it's so well written, this moment, so well performed, and so like his camera is static, and it's just a 2-shot and the close-up when needed. And all of a sudden, after about 5 minutes, and then I thought, oh, he's segueing into, no, the scene keeps going. They keep talking, but now, as you said, you can't, what did he say?
I got mad.
I was really angry.
Yeah.
It was one of those ones where I was alone at the screening and I shifted in my seat and I was like, I was what are you doing? I thought Zendaya was wonderful. I thought all three leads were wonderful. Zendaya really, I don't know if you watch Euphoria. She was already impressing with her dramatic skills, but this one brings her to another level. I think from this film, there's no question that she can do deeper dramatic adult roles. And she is easy on the eyes, and that's a good thing for a movie like this. I thought the last half was too much. The metaphors were too heavy, and some of them towards the end a little simplistic. The scenes of the two of them and their match, and then the sharp close-ups of her. Like, where do I look? Who do I want? Da. We get it, Luca. And I did think, even though the camera work was fantastic, as you said, by that final match, I said this in my review. By the time we are looking at the match from the point of view of the tennis ball. I was like, come on. All right. Stop.
Yeah.
You're not doing Scorsese's The Color of Money here, which was fascinating the way he shot the pool game. But no, it's a film that I go 50-50 on. I love the first hour. The middle was okay. The wrap up was underwhelming.
Yeah. All right, I have to admit, now that back with full review from my side of things as well. When I walked out of it, I hated it.
Oh, wow.
I didn't hate it. I didn't like it. And I was upset because I wanted to like it. There's moments I liked. But
did I talk to you after the screening?
I don't know if we did.
I swear I remember you saying that, or maybe it was, I don't know.
Yeah,
anyway,
it was just off. And I felt like I was curious that moment you were talking about the sauna scene, which I'm thankful you brought that up. That was the one where it's like, I wanted to know what the fuck they're saying in that moment. Like, that was perfect. And it was just great, a great scene. And it was getting drowned out. I'm like, what the fuck? Is there an audio in the theater issue? Like, what the hell's happening here?
No reason to start the music.
Yes. And so yeah, the choices was like, what did I just watch? And it felt, I ain't gonna lie, I was a little bored in different scenes. And again, it played like a tennis match. And then there was points that it was like really ramped up. And then it was like, it was like a sport. I think I also said this on WTOP. It was like a great sports film that got mixed with an art house film. In a lot of ways, I
agree,
because it's all about tennis. If you're a tennis fan, I think you enjoyed this film for those tennis people out there because they really showed love and appreciation for that.
Yeah.
But there's this whole art house cinematic thing that they were doing, that love story, LGBT story, which is great too, but just was weird. So, like I said, I was, what the fuck did I just watch? Excuse my language, y'all.
Yeah.
But then after I started thinking about it more and more, and even now, I'm probably right where you're at, Anthony. I'm 50-50 on it because I think I will remember this film. And I think its choices makes it sit with you. And I think I would watch it again.
I would do it again. Yeah. I think Zendaya, I would have no problem if she's nominated for an Oscar. I think she's that good.
Yeah, she's phenomenal.
I would like to see the cinematography nominated for an Oscar.
Oh, yeah.
Please don't nominate the screenplay nor the score. I'm indifferent to if Guadagnino, whatever, gets nominated or not. If he does, I won't say, he doesn't deserve it, but maybe not, because if it's a best director, we just complained about it's the director that threw that music in there and ruined his own scene. So yeah, but it's certainly a movie worth seeing for sports movie fans. It's the first tennis movie that made tennis remotely interesting that I've ever seen. Agreed. Yeah. And I like the main cast. It's just, I have not disliked a film from this director, and I've loved at least 50% of his films and really like the others. And I went into this one, oh man, what this guy is going to do. And, you left it with, okay. All right.
Yeah.
One thing I'd like to speak of real quick, if you don't mind.
Yeah.
The trailers are really pushing this intensely sexual. And
I'm glad you're bringing this up.
And then there's even one quote that I laughed out loud at when my wife and I were watching TV, and I'm like, what? She said, what is that? I'm like, trust me, I've seen it, and whatever. The quote is, a movie so sexy, it will leave the audience pregnant. Number one, stupid pull quote. Stupid. Number two, this movie is being mismarketed. And people going in there, and I'll say younger, maybe 18 to 25-ish Zendaya clan, we're going to see her. Da, 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 da. No, this is not an overtly sexual film at all.
I completely agree. And it was very awkward. And then having other people ask me about the film, like they're seeing that one particular scene in the trailer, and it's like, no, it's
on the bed, on the end of the bed.
It's a blue ball scene, y'all, for real.
So, perfect. So many people ask me about that same scene. But yeah, that scene that I'm like, no spoilers, but what you see isn't much more than what you get.
Exactly. But it's a good film.
It's a good,
Again, I'm a
yeah.
50-50 now on it. But yeah, at first I wasn't about it. But to me, if a film leaves me thinking about it and, and I was intrigued by certain stuff, I'm like, okay, I gradually warm up to it again. But again, we gave a lot of props to Zendaya, which rightfully so. But I'm curious with the two other actors, Josh O'Connor, Mike Faist. I thought that trio was kind of a very interesting mix. And I'm curious about the other
redhead guy, right? Her husband?
I don't know.
He was Riff in Spielberg's West Side Story remake.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
I wasn't a big fan.
West Side Story. It was all right.
Hey, man, I bow at the original. So even if you're Spielberg, you're not going to bring much to this that I don't already love. But yeah, no, exactly. It's 50-50. It's not a bad film in any way. There are some bad choices made in it, but there's nothing overtly bad in it, if that makes sense.
I agree.
Yeah, I would recommend it, but I would, with the caveat, and this is serious, don't go in expecting some tennis, last tango in Paris on the tennis court. This isn't 9.5 weeks on the tennis court. Just go in knowing that it's not as sexual as it's being portrayed, and you might be able to get into it.
Agreed. Completely agree. Yeah, definitely a miss on the marketing side of things to provoke people to get into it. When it's a very sports film too, which I think they're missing the ball on that. Literally missing the ball.
You see?
Cha-ching! Because it is very much a sports film, and I
didn't even think there'd be that much of the sports aspect to it because of the director. I thought, well, yeah, it'll be tennis, but it won't be tennis. No, it's tennis. It's tennis. And I say that in the positive. I didn't think they could make tennis exciting.
But they did. And so there's a lot of pluses in there, y'all.
Enough pluses for us to recommend, would you say?
I would agree.
Yeah.
And I'm just trying to figure out to also add to our conversation how they score in tennis, but I'm not a tennis player. Don't they do rankings and mismatches? I think we got the ball in the court a few times on our review here.
Yeah. Hey, there you go.
In the paint, I think.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of how they score it. Yeah.
I don't know.
I'm not a tennis
We're not tennis players, y'all.
My mom played tennis, but I didn't play tennis. Yeah. So.
There you go, y'all. Anthony, appreciate you, man. Thanks for going doubles with me. I'm still trying to think more tennis analogies. That's how my brain thinks sometimes. Yeah. Appreciate you, man. How can people check you out if they want to see all your other reviews with Film Threat, with Movie Review, and all the things?
Screencomment.com, themoviereview.com, filmthreat.com, and at each of those on all the social media sites. Themoviereview.com is spelled REVUE.
There you go. That's classic style. Where did REVUE come from with that? If you don't mind me sidetracking real quick.
The Brits.
It was the Brits that did that?
The Brits. Yeah, but for the site, we wanted to, there's a review everywhere. No offense, and I don't mean this in a negative, but our buddy John's The Peach Review. There's this review, that review. I needed a different review. It just makes, I don't know.
Classier.
It might be pretentious to some, but I was just trying to stand out.
No, I dig it. I think it's a little bit more classy, more stylish, because everybody does REVIEW. Let's stand apart.
Exactly.
So props to you, Anthony. Everybody, check out my pal, Anthony Francis, filmthreat.com, moviereview.com. And what was the last one? I got to get this.
You always forget that one. Now. And that was my first, screencomment.com.
Screencomment.com, y'all.
I'm out of France, but I write for the American side.
There you go. Shout out to my boy, Anthony Francis, y'all. Thank you, sir. Everybody.
Thank you. This is great.
Nerds Rule the World. Challengers. Those are our thoughts in theaters right now. Let us know what you think in the comments below. If you agree, disagree, hit us up. Let's chat all things Challengers. Anthony Francis, your boy KP, Nerds Rule the World. What's up, y'all? Your boy Kuya P, Nerds Rule the World. Just got out of the press screening for Challengers here at Landmark East Street Cinema. On my way home now, but I gotta give you all my thoughts. Coming out the joint. That joint was weird, man. Crazy. It's like a combination art film / sports film with the soundtrack of Trent Reznor, Atticus Ross, just booming throughout out of nowhere. I don't know what to really say about this film. There was parts, I gotta be honest, that I was bored. Then there's parts where it picks up, but it's just, it's I don't know. I don't know if I'd see it again. But it is different. There's a lot of good shots in it and the way they did the camera work, but I don't know. It's just a very different film. I'm gonna have to do a full review, y'all. So stay tuned. Nerds Rule the World, coming soon. Your boy Kuya P.